Hi, it's Milla, your Georgia Peach Realtor. Today's topic is appraisal. So what is an appraisal? What is an appraisal contingency? We will hit on those topics today. So let's just go back and think of an appraisal almost like if you're going to go buy something. If there's something you really want or if it's in your wish list, before you buy it, you obviously want to make sure it's in your budget and you're getting it for the right value, right? So that's kind of similar to what an appraisal is. Let's say that you go out with me, I'm your buyer's agent, we go to West Midtown, you find a beautiful new construction townhome that you love. You want to make sure that if you purchase this, you're purchasing it for at market value, right? So let's say this townhome is on the market for $100,000. If it's on the market for $100,000 and you want to put in an offer for $100,000, what you should have me do is pull comparables or what has sold in the last 6 months in a tight radius or maybe in that neighborhood to determine the value of that property. And that's basically what an appraiser does. He or she will set foot into the home that you're interested in once you're under contract with it, and they will examine everything within the home. Does it have updated kitchen with updated granite countertops, updated flooring, renovated bathrooms, a bigger yard? What are the pros and cons or the plus and minuses of the property compared to other properties that sold in the neighborhood? So then that appraiser will go home and they will create an appraisal report, which is their opinion of value of the home. So it's important to realize that your lender orders the appraiser, and you can get as many appraisals done within what's called the appraisal contingency. The appraisal contingency is the time period, usually in today's market about 15 to 25 days, including weekends and holidays, that you have in order to hash out what the value of the property is, okay? So let's say that you get the appraisal back and the appraisal comes in at contract or sales price. So again, you're under contract for $100,000 and the appraisal comes in at $100,000. Well, what do you need to do? Nothing. You should be excited because your home appraised at contract and sales price. All right. That's option A. Option B, you can get the appraisal report back and guess what? The appraisal value is higher than your contract or sales price. Well, that's amazing because that means that you probably got a deal on the property and the seller is probably scratching their head thinking like, dang, I should have probably put this on the market for a higher price or whatever. So option C is that you get the appraisal report back and it comes in low. So let me give you an example. You're under contract or your sales price is $100,000. The appraisal price, which is again the appraiser's professional opinion of value of the home based on the comparables, is $90,000. So you have $100,000 and $90,000, or a delta difference of $10,000. So the bank is going to raise up a red flag and say, you know what? We're not going to give you a loan because you're under contract for $100,000. You've applied for a $100,000 loan, but no way in hell is the bank going to give you a loan for $100,000 when the property is worth $90,000, right? So what do? You, as the buyer, can get with your buyer's agent, me. We can submit an amendment to address reduction in sales price to the seller and basically say, hey, here's the appraisal report. It's appraised at $90,000. Can you reduce from $100,000 to $90,000? And the seller can just say, you know what? Right now, inventory is low. There's a lot of people biting on this property. Like, if you really want it, then you should overpay $10K for it. And, they don't necessarily need to reduce it. So if that's the case and the seller doesn't decide to reduce from $100K to $90K, you can actually terminate the contract, terminate and release the contract. It's called a TNR. Before your appraisal contingency is up. Again, remember I told you it's about 15 to 25 days. So as long as you terminate before the 15 to 25 days is up, you as the buyer will get that earnest money, which is about 1 to 2% of your offer price. It's kind of like a security deposit. You will get that back. So the only thing you would have lost is your time and your money, maybe for your inspection and your appraisal, to cancel the contract. Again, if the seller doesn't want to cooperate and maybe bring it from 100 to 90, you can maybe ask them again, say, hey, if you want to drop it 10,000, can you maybe at least consider splitting the difference. So if that's the case, the seller would have to come to the closing table with $5,000, and the buyer would have to come to the closing table with $5,000, and you all split the difference. Now the problem here is most people are already struggling to get the down payment for the home. You know, you don't need 20% down payment. You can buy a home with as little as 3.5% down payment, but a lot of people don't have extra 5Gs laying around just to pay up for the difference in an appraisal. So that's basically what you're left with your options. Again, your appraisal is going to come in at contract price, your appraisal can come in higher, which is always a good thing, or your appraisal can come in lower. But just remember, you have an opportunity to hash that all out before your appraisal contingency deadline goes up. Hope this all makes sense. Stay tuned. Be sure to subscribe, follow me on social media, and feel free to reach out to me if you have any real estate related questions. Thank you, and I look forward to hearing from you.